Hello everybody and welcome to episode 3 of my Team career mode on the Lagos Racing Network. I'm Alex Lagos and today we'll be going through the Australian Grand Prix. If you are new around here, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified of all future uploads, and make sure to like the video if you do enjoy it. We've had some really fantastic racing in the first 2 rounds of the season so far, so if you haven't seen those yet, make sure to go and check those out. As you can see on the screen here, we're going to get straight into the qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix. We did have an issue at the beginning with some damage, so that has eaten some time into our first qualifying session. Obviously, we are doing a sort of road to glory style season where we have picked all of the lowest, or the lowest option was setting up the My Team career mode. So we have started as a back marker, so it's really exciting as we sort of build our car through the season. And we've sort of qualifying at the back as you'd expect and trying to fight our way through the races, thinking about tactical decisions we can make to potentially move forward. But here we go then with our first qualifying attempt around Australia, just to set that bank of time, keeping close to the right hand side in this section, enjoying the new section of the Australian Grand Prix. This is the first time I've experienced the new layout of Australia, and I have to say it's really fun. And they've really opened out this section here in the left to right hander, and as we head down to the bottom here, they've again really changed the layout. It's a much more sort of free flowing circuit now. You have to kind of go deeper into this. You need to expect staying off that red piece of the curb, because when you go over that it does unsettle the car a little bit. But when it come across the line, we're going to set an initial time of 1:20.79, which gives us about 3.5 tenths off of Stroll in the Aston Martin. And we do think we're fighting the Aston Martins at the moment this season. They're the ones that we're trying to get ahead of. Well, we are ahead of in the constructors. Neither of us have scored any points yet, but due to the best finishes, we are currently ahead of Aston Martin. So to be so far back from the Aston Martins is disappointing, but of course we've still got the rest of qualifying and race day to make sure we get ahead of them. Obviously want to keep an eye on what teammates doing as well, and definitely want to out-qualify our teammate. But here we go then for our second attempt at qualifying, already picking up some speed there through the first right-hander and the first corner. So we've got about 1.5 tenths just off that corner alone. But as we come to the end of the lap, you see that we've gained nearly 2.5 tenths there, and through the final corner it drops a little bit, but we get the speed on the exit, so it brings us all the way up to nearly 4 tenths of a second improvement, which was about where the Aston Martins were. But we're going to see where we come out, and it's only 20th position for the race in Australia. So disappointing there. We did want to be slightly higher up, but it is what it is. So let's get straight into the race day.
Here in Melbourne, as we continue with what could shape up to be one of the best Australian Grand Prix ever. So here we are at Albert Park circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Sergio Perez and Hamilton, Bottas, Magnussen, Fernando Alonso and Mick Schumacher, Gasly, Ocon, Lando Norris and Joe, Stroll, Albon, Sebastian Vettel and Yuki Tsunoda, Latifi, Alexander, Ricciardo and Richard Verschoor. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Natalie Binkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So there we have it then, Ferrari again dominating qualifying. So they are 1-2, Sainz and Leclerc So definitely going to be interesting to see whether or not anyone can take the fight to Ferrari. They're definitely the best car this season. We're going to, again, follow on the similar strategy, medium to hard, that I expect most people to go for. Though we may see some people go for the two-stop strategy. So that, again, be interesting. Maybe we can build up some positions if we stay close enough behind them to get ahead of a few people in the pit stops if we go for the one-stop strategy. So we're going to go for that. And we'll get straight into the race. Going to 5 red lights. And away we go. Lights held a little bit there. We're going to see if we can make any moves. We've got a bit of a slow start, and Vasseur looks to make a move around our left-hand side, but we're going to come up right behind Ricciardo, who we did qualify in front of, so he's already moved past us off the start. But we're going to go around the outside of Ricciardo here, or at least try to, if we've got the space. Maybe look for some moves into the braking zone as we get to the third corner here. Yeah, move down the inside, Tsunoda. Come up behind Guan Yu Zhou. I think a little tap there on the front left wheel, but we've gone all the way up to 16th place. If we can hold it on Vettel there and get that move done, which we do. So we're already up to 16th. Some fantastic move there as we use some ERS to come up to the back of Guan Yu Zhou. Skip ahead to later, slightly later on that one in. We've got Mick Schumacher making moves on Pierre Gasly for 10th position. Mick Schumacher has been an absolute star of the show this season and definitely putting his name in the bracket of drivers we're going to be looking at in the future to sign, because he's been really impressive. And we have a look at Gasly now. I think that's, Magnussen looking to make a move on Alonso. So the Haas looking punchy at the beginning of this race. Both Haas's looking really punchy. And we also see Gasly and Stroll fighting. And then ourselves there, still in 15th. We've got Guan Yu Zhou up behind us. Definitely out of position as well. I think we could have some struggles trying to keep Guan Yu Zhou behind us, given that they've looked so fast. You can see where Valtteri Bottas is. As we head over to Nicholas Latifi looking to move on Tsunoda for 19th place behind us. So he's making a good move. But Tsunoda back around the outside, gets that move back. And we're back with us now. And as we just said, Guan Yu Zhou, the quicker car, has gone behind us. But we're going to go late on the brakes here, see if we can get the move back. Try and retain that 15th position, given the space on the left-hand side, but we get that move done, and we're going to power up back behind Ocon. As we see later here, we've got Guan Yu Zhou again, later in the lap on our right-hand side, trying to get that move done again as we follow Ocon in the slipstream, trying to keep ahead of Guan Yu Zhou. Definitely getting frustrated behind these cars, because he should be the quicker car. As we see Gasly going off to the left, Gasly's engine's gone, and that is a driver out of the Grand Prix, and unfortunately we just overtook Ocon under that yellow flag before it went green, so we have to give that position back. But that sees us up to 14th place in this race, which, considering we're only on lap 2, is a really good start. And we're really interested to see where we turn out. And as a virtual safety car now has come out due to that Gasly engine failure, so it'll be interesting to see if that develops into a full safety car as we progress through the lap. We'll see if anything happens now. Teammates actually come into the pits. Vasseur is in, so he must have got some damage, and we do have a safety car, but it wasn't actually Gasly that's caused the safety car. What we couldn't see behind us is that Zhou Guan Yu has had an incident, and he has got it all messed up and gone straight into the wall, and the damage of his car has caused the safety car to come out with the front wing strewn on the track. So we skip ahead to lap 5 here, with the safety car now coming in and getting the race restarted behind Ocon. So we're in 14th place at the moment, and Zhou Guan Yu had to pit from behind us. So he's going to be making moves. We see him now fighting for sure at the back, right at the back, as he's come out of the pit lane. So he's got to make more positions and more gains through this race. So he's looking to go around the outside of Vasseur and start to make some overtakes and gain some more positions. So he gets that move done on Vasseur, but Vasseur now looking to come back at him on the right hand side, looking to go down the inside. Hopefully he can get this move done and keep Zhou Guan Yu behind him, because with so much of the race left, I feel like Zhou Guan Yu could still be a factor in our race later on down the line after the pit stops, because he's obviously already made his change. He's on the softs, he's on the quicker tyre. If there are any more incidents, I feel like he could still be catching us and giving us issues later on. So we'll see how that plays out. As we can see Zhou Guan Yu here looking to make another move on Vasseur. Can Vasseur defend again into the right-hander, or will Zhou Guan Yu get around the outside? He looks like he's got that move done this time as he goes through, and he gets that move done. So Guan Yu now up to 20th position, as we see Perez peeling off to the left-hand side. He's got it all messed up there, and Hamilton up to 4th place. So Perez losing out there, as we see Guan Yu Zhou now going down the inside of Albon and getting another move done up to 19th place. So Zhou Guanyu again proving how good he is this season on the overtakes. As we see Vachor now coming in for another pit stop. So we saw under the safety car he did his first, and he's now coming in off the soft tyres now onto the hards. And if he's looking to run to the end of the Grand Prix on those hard tyres, I have to say it's going to be difficult for him. There's still a long way to go in this race, so it'd be difficult for him to do that. As we come back to our race here, and we've got Vettel now coming up behind us trying to make a move, but he gets it all wrong in the braking zone and heads straight on in the right-hander. So we do the switchback on Vettel and get that move back. And we now move to lap 13, and we can see that Latifi has got it all wrong on the brakes, and that's allowed Daniel Ricciardo potentially to make a move around the outside here of Latifi. Can he get that move done as he gets the inside line in the right-hander, and he does get that move done on Latifi. Now at the end of lap 13, we're now coming into the pits. We're going to look to try and get an optimal pit stop here and come out back where we were. We only get good, but it's still 2.6, 2.9 second stop, which is not too bad. Hopefully got no issues with the tyres going on this time, and we all get away nice and clean. So that's a decent pit stop for us. Back out in 16th, but we do, as we talked about earlier, Guanyu Zhou now on the back of us, looking to go around the outside of us on the right into the left-hander, but we come back through there. Managed to get defensively, get the move done back on Guanyu Zhou and retain that 15th place, but I think there's going to be a lot of defending here as we see Bottas shows teammate looking to make a move on George Russell, showing just how good the Alfa Romeo is this season. Really impressive to see the pace of the Alfa Romeos, and George Russell now falling back, and as we see Lewis Hamilton in 4th, he definitely needs to step up his game. As we see him now going back around the outside of Bottas, got a really good fight developing here. I think there was a little bit of touch on the side pod there of Bottas, but Russell now is going to get that move done and back in front of Bottas, but I don't think that fight is over. As now we're on lap 15, and we see Albon trying to make a move on his teammate around the outside of Latifi, and I think he's going to get that move done with the quicker exit around the outside line there. So another move done by the Williams. And back to our race now. Guanyu Zhou again trying to make a move into that right-hander, but this time he does get it done. So we're going to have to follow him through here, see if there's anything we can do to get that position back. But unfortunately, we can't do that immediately. He does get that move done on us, so we'll follow him through, see if we can do anything later on to get that position back. As we see Verstappen going off here, and I don't know what's going on here, if he's stalled or if there's an issue with the car. He seemed to just get pushed off by the Ferrari when he tried to make a move on Carlos Sainz, so I'm not sure what's actually happened here. We saw this earlier in the season with Perez, where he just sort of stopped on track but ended up getting going. So I'm just watching here, waiting to see whether Verstappen can go again, and he is. No, it doesn't appear to be any damage to his car. We'll see if he comes into the pit lane for a new front wing, or potentially if he's got any damage to the car. But from what I can tell, he just got stuck there and had to wait for other cars to come through. The II getting sorted, and that actually brought out a safety car. Because of how long he spent in the gravel trap, a safety car was brought out. So we're now on lap 19, ready to go again, coming up behind Guanyu Zhou, and we're going to make these moves happen again, see if we can push up towards the points. As we move up now towards Charles Leclerc, looking at the Ferraris, they are dominant again, and with Verstappen all the way down the order in 12th, he hasn't got anything to say about it. As we see George Russell behind the Ferraris making a move on Perez now, trying to get back up behind Lewis Hamilton after the safety car, so trying to make up for the issues he was having earlier in the race. But Perez is looking to defend the move on the inside of the right-hander. Can he stay in front of Russell? But Russell has the better exit. He's now moved in front, and we see Bottas now trying to get both of them as he goes around the outside of Perez, trying to get him on the brakes, but Russell cuts him off. Perez dives down the inside. Looks like they've all avoided contact, so no damage to any of the cars. There's some really good racing as Bottas now tries to go around the outside of Perez, and Perez loses it a little bit, and Bottas makes that move. So as Perez tried to get those positions back, he's actually lost out to Bottas as well. As we come back to our race now, we're going for an audacious move down the inside of Guanyu Zhou, not giving us any room whatsoever there on the left-hander. So we're tapping wheels all the way through. We check our wing, and we do have a little bit of damage on the front wing now, which is really disappointing, but hopefully it won't affect our race too much. As we progress further up the road, still on lap 21, we can see we're getting right behind Max Verstappen, who we have absolutely no right racing at this stage of the season, but maybe he's picked up damage somewhere which he can't fix, and that's slowing his car down. As we see now, Norris looking to make a move on Ocon, so this is for 9th position in this race, wheel to wheel as we head down the back straight to the left-hander. Who's going to come out in front of this particular fight? And they say this is all for points, so this is an important moment in their season as we look for Norris now trying to go around the outside into the right-hander. We've seen this has been quite effective as you do get a better exit around the outside than you do on the inside. So is Norris now going to get a move done past the Alpine of Esteban Ocon? He is going to do that move and get that done. As we come back to our race now, we can see Stroll has got it all messed up in the right-hander, so we're going to make an audacious effort around the right-hand side, and we get another position now, up to 12th place in this race, and now behind Max Verstappen. Hopefully Stroll doesn't come straight back at us, but we're really, really doing well now to be up to 12th, considering we started in 20th. But we can see here we've got Stroll and Guan Yu Zhou behind us trying to make moves. As we look at Stroll's point of view, and he's coming up behind us, just get pushed out there. As we go through the left-hander, so thankfully he got pushed out, but that's allowed Zhou Guan Yu to follow us through here. He's going down the inside of Stroll. We know that it's sort of better to be on the outside, so it'll be interesting to see if Guan Yu Zhou can get this move done. Stroll does get the better exit, but Guan Yu Zhou is still there, so can he get maybe a move now into the left-hander? No, not quite. He's going to have to bide his time to make that move. As we skip ahead again to Mick Schumacher, looking to make moves on Sergio Perez. The Haas absolutely punching above its weight, with Mick Schumacher now up to potentially 7th place if he can get this move done. Wheel to wheel through there, and I think he's just about done it. We'll see if Perez comes back in, but he has got that move done on Sergio Perez. And he's up to 7th place, and we've actually got Lando Norris behind it as Perez now dives down the inside actually and taps the side pod of Mick Schumacher into the right-hander. So he hasn't given that move up, but he loses the back end, and now we see Norris coming through up to 8th place. So an absolute mare there for Sergio Perez, as we now see Max Verstappen continuing to try and make moves around the left-hand side of Esteban Ocon there. He's obviously pitted late, and he's going to be fighting to get back up the points now, as we see Guan Yu Zhou making another move at Lance Stroll. This time Lance Stroll's got it all messed up on the brakes, and that's allowed Zhou Guan Yu to come up through to 13th, so he's having a good race. As we move back to Max Verstappen on lap 24, he's now making moves on Sergio Perez, his teammate, so he is absolutely flying now as he goes through the grid trying to get back, as he was fighting the Ferraris early in this race. He's definitely on damage recovery mode trying to get some points back. As we move again to lap 25, same area of the track, he's now looking to make a move on Lando Norris. Some really, really good moves here by Max Verstappen. Can he get the move done before the left-hander? No, Norris is coming back on the right-hand side. We'll wheel to wheel through these chains as he's still on the left-hand side, gets the better exit, rides over the curb, which is absolutely fine, but I think Norris is still there. He is. He's still on the right-hand side here, looking to make a move to protect his position on the right-hand side, but Verstappen's going to get the better exit and get that move done, just as we've seen multiple before him. And now lap 27, Verstappen again looking to get ahead of Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher had a really good race up to this point, but now he's having to defend against the much faster Red Bull at this stage of the Grand Prix. So I'll be surprised if he can do this. But we see Verstappen's got that move done and moved past the Haas of Mick Schumacher. It doesn't take away anything from Mick Schumacher's race. He's had an absolutely fantastic Grand Prix, but Verstappen's absolutely messed up there. I don't know what's happened. He just seemed to go wide. Maybe I didn't see any smoke from the brakes, but he's messed up, and now Norris has got to run at Verstappen. But that's dropped him back to 8th, and Mick Schumacher now retaining his position in 7th place. And with only 3 laps to go, or 2.5 laps to go, it's going to be really interesting to see if Mick can actually see this race out with a 7th place finish. And as we come back to our race now, Guan Yu Zhou still putting pressure on us. It's turning into a bit of a race-long battle here with Guan Yu Zhou, similar to the fight we had with Mick Schumacher in the last race at Jeddah. As we look to protect our position there against Guan Yu Zhou, and we do protect our position to retain 12th place, as we see Perez now trying to make places back up the grid and making a move on Ocon to get into 10th place and potentially that final points playing position. But Ocon now coming back at him as we see Perez going around the outside. Can he get this, with the superior speed into the right-hander? And he should get a better exit being on the outside this time of Ocon, so I suspect he'll get that move done, obviously in the better Red Bull, and he does get that move sorted on Ocon for 10th place. As we see now the last lap of the Grand Prix, the Ferraris are going at each other. Sainz now trying to take the lead from Charles Leclerc, and he's going to go around the outside of left-hander here. Can he get this move done? It looks like he has Sainz now cleanly in front, but Leclerc's obviously going to have the DRS, and he's going to be coming back at him here, trying to get a move into the right-hander. Oh no, he's going around the outside Charles Leclerc, which is the better line to take, so it'll be interesting if he gets this. He does. Sainz gets it all locked up. Doesn't get the momentum off the exit the corner, and I suspect that's going to be the end of it there. There's no real opportunities now for Sainz to get that position back, and Leclerc is going to come over the line for another win for Ferrari, making up for the DNF he had in the previous round. Sainz coming across in second, which is a fantastic result for him, and a fantastic result for Ferrari as we see the Mercedes are going to come over third and fourth. But back to our race now on the last lap. Zhou again trying to get this position on us for 12th place, but we go really late on the brakes, cover him off so he can't get the momentum round the outside, and we ride the curb so that he can't come back or switch back us onto the inside line into the next corner. And we're just going to protect our line here as we come round the final corner. He won't have the momentum to get past us. We're going to use all the remaining ERS we've got, and we're going to come over the line for a 12th place finish. And after a really fantastic race there, loads of action from the AI, and I'm really happy with the 12th place finish. We're getting better every race in terms of our finishing positions, but to come from 20th to 12th and get driver of the day as well, really content with that. Not a great day for our teammate, but really solid day for the team.
Great battles on the streets of Melbourne today then, and they've taken a fantastic win. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those that we've witnessed today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
Incredible pace at times.
So there we have it then, another win for Charles Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz coming over second, so a 1-2 for Ferrari, and Hamilton bringing home the third place in the final podium position. Valtteri Bottas with a fantastic finish up in 5th place, and Fernando Alonso with the Alpine in 6th, so that's absolutely fantastic. Verstappen obviously not having the best race down in 7th, Schumacher having a brilliant race to finish 8th, and then Norris and Perez seeing out the top 10. For us, up to 12th place, so I'm really happy with that. For sure, obviously down in 18th, which was not a great race for him today, but he'll bounce back. Still a young driver, still lots of improvement to be gained over the course of the season for him. So yeah, really good race, but enjoyed that. Obviously we had a couple of DNFs there as well for Magnussen and Gasly, so they'll be looking to bounce back into the next round, and from a constructor's point of view, that should guarantee that we remain ahead of Aston Martin. We do know that Williams have obviously still got that 1 point they scored in the previous race, so we definitely need to score some points in the next couple of rounds just to get ourselves back ahead of Williams. They're the ones we want to take the fight to. I think if we can beat Williams and Aston Martin this season, that's fantastic for the first season, given all the things going against us in terms of how we've set our season up this year and the road to glory style. And it is going to take some seasons before we're fighting at the front, I would predict, but it's going to be really fun. So we'll have a quick look at the standings here. So I can see Carlos Sainz now 8 points clear of his teammate Charles Leclerc. So Sainz leading the championship, which is really good for him. So as we know, we haven't got any points in this championship just yet, and Hamilton and Russell having a good old fight in the Mercedes. And again, with Red Bull's issues, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out for them. We can see Verstappen's now down in 4th, and Perez down in 7th in the championship, with the Hamilton up in 3rd, only 18 points off the lead. So if they can improve their car, he could have a say in this championship. But at the moment, just seemed that Ferrari have a massive sort of advantage over the rest of the grid as things stand, with the just lack of any reliability issues or anything. They just seem to be absolutely smashing. You can see there from the points difference, 108 points to 64 Mercedes in second, so huge gains already for Ferrari after only 3 rounds. We're down in 10th in the championship, which is brilliant. So anyway guys, I want to just thank you so much for watching today's episode. It's been absolutely fantastic. I think really fun, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are new around here, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate every subscription, really helps the channel grow. And if you did like the content, please make sure to like it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.